9 years ago, I made a movie about a wonderful human being who had an exhibition at Wallingford's Community Art Center of paintings and photographs. And now, in 2023, he's having another show at the Community Art Center. And this time, in addition to paintings and photographs, he's exhibiting figure drawings.
I'm Mashiul Chowdhury. I've been working on this for a long time, mostly during pandemic. I put together about 62 pieces, photography, painting, and drawing. And there is a relationship between these three media. I'm a painter in my heart, but I use photography as a reference and inspiration. I've been taking photographs for 2 decades. Images on the wall where it has a lot of slogans, letters, posters, and they get ripped off and leaves very nice, interesting texture and color and markings. I feel like those are a collective conversation. And I take it to my heart and try to make a connection with my paintings. I grew up in an urban environment. And this is from Dhaka, Bangladesh. That's from Istanbul. And this one is from Philly. The surface of a door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the last one on the left is Toledo. Pretty close to Madrid.
Yeah.
And El Greco did a lot of work there. I love the chaotic nature of the urban life. It's lively, very energetic. Those images on the wall, they are the layers of urban dwellers' thoughts, their memories, stories. I look at those images and I get inspired. My paintings evolved all the time. The reason the title is Deconstruction, by doing the deconstruction, I bring the confusion, the instability, and the lack of visual logic into my paintings. So learning and unlearning construction and deconstruction, it leads me to think various innovative possibilities. I remember the famous quote by a German-British painter, Frank Orbach. He said that if you pass by something on a daily basis and it has some character, it starts to intrigue you. It happens to me, it happens to everyone. Everyday life, I drive through the city. The paint on the wall or the architectural shapes, the tank in the corner of the building matters to me. It makes me interested. That's what I do in my painting. Now, the drawing, I've been doing this for a long time. It initially started with how to make a line, how to make a line which is poetic, which is musical. And that's what I learned from studying the human figure. If you look at my paintings, those are full of drawing and lines. So how do I make sure that I'm doing something which looks interesting? That's by studying the figures. And I also make a connection with the urban dwellers, which is us, our stories with the painting and the photograph. So that's what is this show about. I hope you all enjoy it.
Mashiul, your paintings have gotten more and more abstract, and yet your figure drawings are getting more and more realistic. You're like a split personality.
You're absolutely right. I think you have a good observation. I have a multiple personality. I have no shame to say that, actually, because of my 2 different professions.
For your day job, you're a doctor specializing in infectious diseases. So how does a doctor start verging into abstract art?
Yeah, the painting is going more abstract. It's not like I intentionally doing it. It's coming from my heart, coming from inside. I really don't know why it's going abstract, but am I happy to see this? Yeah, absolutely. But I still love seeing some kind of a reference in a landscape. People can say, well, yeah, looks like a house, but maybe something else. I make a conflicting abstract image.
But then you also have these very naturalistic figure drawings.
Well, the drawing, I've been doing a lot of workshop, and because I have an anatomy background, I know what is the quadriceps and all sorts of muscles and joints and ligaments. So,
did you ever dissect a human cadaver? Did that help your drawing?
Yes, back in Bangladesh in my medical school. To be honest with you, I didn't know that Leonardo da Vinci used to dissect this cadaver and made lots of drawings. Wish I knew that at that time. And I did it with my wife, who is also the same medical school and a student with me. I wasn't very good, but my wife was really serious, and she was very good in dissecting and learning anatomy.
You never feel at risk when she's got a knife at the dinner table?
That's really funny. Yeah, no, I think we made that kind of a trust and understanding.
Do you think your drawings are going to continue to get more and more realistic?
I wish I could go a little more abstract on my drawing. Maybe in future it will lead me to do that, but if it comes spontaneously, naturally, that's what I want.
At the beginning of this movie, I called Mashiul a wonderful human being. As we continue to look at his work, let me explain why. I see it as a question of balance. On the personal side, he has a wonderful family and very close friendships going back to childhood. It was a great pleasure to meet some of his lifelong friends from Bangladesh. He has devoted himself in expanding the horizons of young Bangladeshi American children through art. Through his program, Sharina's Arty Crafty, he has taught them art, taken them to museums, and organized shows of their work. And he has balanced the two great professional callings of his life, art and medicine. Mashiul told me that he believes the scientific method is the best means of determining, over time, the truths of our material world. He said the greatest thing to come out of the pandemic was the mRNA vaccine, which helped millions of people, including his own family. During the pandemic, Mashiul appeared many times on various media platforms to share accurate information with the public about how best to protect oneself. In this episode of TBN Wellness, he is speaking to Bengali Americans in their native tongue.
ধন্যবাদ ডক্টর ইমাম, আপনি যে সংখ্যাগুলো বললেন সেটা ভয়াবহ, দুর্ভাগ্যজনক। আমি প্রথমে শ্রদ্ধা জানাই, আমার সমবেদনা জানাই যেসব সহযোদ্ধা যুদ্ধ করছে এই কারণে।
And I may be speculating here, but I see Mashiul's spiritual side in his art. His paintings, drawings, and photographs express his optimism, his belief in the power of freedom and imagination, and his love for humanity. I asked him whether he was thinking about retiring from his medical practice to devote himself fully to his art. He told me something funny. What were you saying about you can't paint all day long, you need a break?
I need some room to breathe.
And that's your medical practice?
You may ask that it's so weird that seeing a patient is a room to breathe. But yeah, infectious disease, that's what I understand more than anything else. Yeah, if I'm enjoying seeing a patient and doing that practice, it gives me happiness, absolutely.
So from all your patients, your students, and those of us who love your art, we hope that you just keep doing all the things you're doing. Thanks, Mashiul.